The show goes on. This is my home. They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here. They're gonna need to send in the National Guard and fucking SWAT team. They ain't going nowhere. The show goes on.
That's right, guys. You already know what's up. Welcome back to another Happy Hump Day Wednesday live stream. We're gonna play a little music. We're gonna wait for everybody to jostle in here, get in their seats, and get ready for the show. And you already know what's up. You know, we're about to get started and talk. That's right,
About
guys. You already know what's up. Welcome back to another. Look at that. I can hear myself.
What am I gonna do?
See you guys in a second.
I'm just a moon boy, looking for a rocket. Hold up. A coin that knows how to move without ever dropping. It's gotta be below $1. I'll set my limit order. When you hit $100, baby, I'll be so glad I bought you.
Actually, let's take this time a little bit here. I completely forgot. I want to plug a little bit. I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about where else you can find me. Because you never know. You honestly never know what could happen, you know? Because now that we're talking about censorship, you know, you might as well, you know, start bringing up the very obvious, you know, of that I could get censored myself. That's why I have multiple channels. As you guys can see here, most of you guys know, some of you guys do, some of you guys don't. You know, I got my own website, and I have multiple channels where you can find me no matter what. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Before we do, I wanna give a shout out to everybody there. Shout out to Amputee Adventures. Shout out to Donna, Blueberry. Who else is out there right now? Everybody else is out there. I don't know, I think that's all for now. Herman is out there. Who else? Who else? And also Hanson is out there. We got Anthony's out there. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much for showing up today. And everyone else that is also here with us. And is also going to be showing up in a few minutes. But anywho's, yeah, you know, you can find me right now look, first of all, you can find me on my own website. So worst case scenario, if for whatever reason I am not on Facebook, I mean I'm not on YouTube anymore for whatever reason, you can find me. Look, you guys see, I'm on Twitch. All right, I'm on my own website. All right, I am on D Live. I am on Facebook. I am everywhere. All right, I know Facebook's the worst one, but you know, hey, it is what it is, right? Bruh. But anywho's, but yeah, look at that. Look how many. Look at that. I'm streaming myself and myself and myself and myself and myself. Okay. So, anyways, you can find me all over the place. But just wanted to give a shout out there. You know, just in case you don't, you know, find me anywhere. I'm all over the place. And again, that's why we're talking about censorship today, because a lot of people out there are still under the impression that, you know, we are being censored now more than at any other time in human history, and that couldn't be any further from the truth. In fact, that's why we're going to talk about it. We're going to dissect it, because again, for whatever reason, let's just say they take me off of YouTube. It's okay. I'm still going to be on the internet. There's still many platforms that'll host me. I got my own website. I can go as far as getting my own servers, you know what I mean, and literally being self-sufficient to the point where I can still be broadcasting into the internet without needing any middleman or anything like that. And I can go on and on. And, you know, as more technology arises, you know, for example, like Elon Musk, you know, with his satellite, his, what the hell is it called again? the Starlink. Yeah, with the whole Starlink situation, I mean, are you kidding me? Even more so. So again, you got Starlink, you're anonymous, you got your own servers, you got your, I mean, forget it. How the hell are they going to censor you? And so that's just that, you know what I mean? But like in reality, like, you know, we're going to go, you know, source by source and really look at, you know, censorship, and I'm going to be taking questions, and we're going to be talking about all that stuff too. You know what I mean? Please let me, you know, anything you guys want to add to the conversation. If sometimes I know there's a lot of people in the chat, and since there's a lot of people in the chat, and you know, there's a lot of conversation going on for whatever reason. A lot of times, what happens is that you know, I just don't see your thing right now. There's not that many people joining us, so it's okay. You know, you might be able to get some questions or some comments in, and I'll be able to see them. But if you ever want to, you know what I mean, quicken that, you know what I mean, meaning want me to really see it, you know, any kind of super chat usually helps, you know, because that way it like highlights it and I see it immediately. And speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to, you know, a few people out there. I don't know if you want me to say your name or not, but too late. You need to let me know beforehand. Anyway, shout out to Opie, shout out to Raymond, shout out to Richard, shout out to Blueberry, shout out to a bunch of you guys that have, you know, constantly, you know, whether either your patrons, your big patrons, or your constant, you know, helping donate to the cause and all that good stuff. I don't know why Gizmo's getting so loud. You know, he's also wanted to say thanks, I think. You know, I apologize if Gizmo's out there being very loud. He wants to say thank you as well. And so does Lambo. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the donations and all the help, all the financial help that helps keep this show and program alive. Whatever. Anyways, but again, back to the censorship. You know, again, we're living in a world right now that no matter what, like for example, let's just talk about WikiLeaks. You know, they got to the point where, first of all, they were releasing so much information, you know what I mean, that not even the U.S. federal government is safe, okay, from any of this. You know what I mean? They're out there, and you know what I mean? We know every single thing that they do, and we can find it on the internet. It's not censored anymore. So censorship can go both ways. But I mean, just with the whole thing of WikiLeaks, you know what I mean? For, you know, when they were first getting started, you know, they got all their bank accounts closed. They got all their, you know, financials, you know, destroyed. And the only way that they were able to, you know, get any kind of financial backing was through Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So again, you know, that's why I talk about Bitcoin so much, because it is a censorship-proof technology, a censorship-proof money. Remember, right now, that's why they want to get everybody on the digital dollar. They want everybody to get off paper money. No more paper, because they want you on the digital grid, so that way they can control you. And so, you know, if you are on the banking, if you got a, you know, any kind of banking system, if you got your bank or whatever, you already know that whether it's happened to you or it's happened to people that you know, they got their bank account frozen, or they've had transactions frozen, or they've had, you know, a lot of explaining to do just when they're paying some sort of bill, or doing or buying a you know, making a purchase or whatever. And especially it's going to get worse if they pass that whole $600 right. So for example, right now the U.S. government, the IRS, they want to be able to track every transaction over $600, all right? And so right now, you know, that's another way in which people can get around that tracking. You know, people will simply just have transactions under $600, you know, under $500, and then anything over that, they'll probably start using things like Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency, or they'll figure out another way, or maybe even pay it in cash or whatever, you know what I mean? And you know, a lot of people, you know, as the banks get tighter and all this censorship gets worse, no matter whether it's in the banking system, whether it's on YouTube or other platforms like this, it doesn't matter where it is and what it is. The reality is that, you know, the quicker they do it, the more it pushes people to go to the alternatives and use an alternative. Again, you know, I've been talking about Bitcoin, for example, for a long time, but no one really cares about that. Well, because they've never really had a need for it until recently. I don't know if, oh, there it is. So, yeah, sorry, I don't know if my signal got taken down or something. I feel like I was already censored. I'm being censored today. So, yeah, sorry about that. Let me see if I can check on my stuff out here. But yeah, I mean, so the censor. I mean, look, right now today's episode. Today's episode is probably going to get a little bit more censored than usual, just because I'm talking about censorship. You know how ironic, right?
Bruh.
But I mean, the fact that I'm talking about censorship is not helping. Let me see. MPT Adventure says, Jose, you should set up a buy me a coffee link. They only take 10%, where super chats take 30. Well, the thing is that I have multiple ways. You know, I'm glad that you brought that up. See, look, you see where I have right here, support the show. You know, you can, you know, anyone that wants to help support the show, you can send a direct payment to my PayPal or to my Cash App, and I'll get 100% of it. All right, so don't worry. I mean, the buy me a coffee link, I just don't want to have that many more links. There's so many links. Trust me, I have so many links and so many whatever, but it just confuses people. I forget that it's a whole thing. So that's why I'm trying to keep it simple. And then, like, I got cryptocurrencies here where you can send, again, direct payment as well. And I got Patreon, and I have YouTube. The reason I have Super Chat and I got Patreon, I got all these because, well, people prefer that. You know, everyone prefers a different way to support the show and whatever. Oh, and by the way, shout out to everyone out there that has gone to the store. I have completely forgot that I even have this store. I was getting some notifications the other day that I made some sales. So I forgot I have a store. I got to update the store, and I'm going to be working on that. In fact, let me write it down because I keep forgetting to update the store. So anyways, I got to update the store. See, as you guys can see, I got a bunch of... So yeah, someone out there bought a bunch of stuff the other day. Shout out to you. Multiple times, a bunch of you guys. So shout out to all you guys buying the merch. So I mean, like I said, there's multiple ways in which you can you know, help and support the show, help support me not getting censored, you know, and all this other stuff, and yada yada yada. So and then at the same time, if you buy like some merchandise, you know, that's something that you guys can have for yourselves. All right, there you go. So you don't feel like you just completely gave away money or what have you. Anywho's. So, all right, let me see what other... I know there's a few comments there. I think that was it. Okay. Yeah, but anyways, so... Yeah, man, we got to just keep it simple, man. You know, just with like everything else. And so with the censorship, man, you know, I am not worried at all. The last thing I am is actually worried about what's actually coming our way with censorship. In fact, it makes me happy and makes me glad that, you know, we're actually having all this censorship, because it's a way in which it's like, again, necessity is the mother of invention. So unless we actually get censored and we have a reason in order to have these new platforms, have a new currency to use, have all these other options in order to get around the system, you know what I mean? These things are never going to really be able to really fully grow and, you know, be explored unless we have a need for them, because it's very simple, you know what I mean? We haven't really had a need for a new banking system, because, well, our banking system has been pretty all right till now. You know, we haven't really needed a new YouTube, because, well, YouTube has been pretty good so far. But you got to remember, the reason people watch YouTube, the reason people watch things on the internet today is simply because, well, they don't watch cable anymore. You know what I mean? Like cable and all that stuff, you know, that is a dinosaur. And simply because it's expensive. And most people my age or younger, for the most part, don't even have cable, for one quick example. In fact, you know, what a lot of people end up doing is that they just end up watching everything for free online, one shape, form, or another. Or eventually, you know, people just started getting things like Netflix or Hulu or whatever other, you know, now you're seeing everybody's getting on it. You see like Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, yada, yada, you know, all these things. And so basically it's like now it's a la carte. And everything is a la carte. You know, again, some of you guys pay for the Jose channel. A la carte. You know, some of you guys pay for other channels. You know, you support other creators a la carte. You know what I mean? And you're basically, you know, you're paying, you know, like for example, like let's say $10.99 a month to get tons of content. You know what I mean? You get like 5 new videos every week, you know, from certain creators, and I can go on and on. It's pretty funny that this episode, by the way, is getting heavily censored. You know, I'm noticing that this video is not getting any traction for whatever reason today. This episode is definitely getting censored. How ironic, right? We're talking about censorship. But that's why, a lot of times you see, I try to avoid talking about certain topics or using certain hashtags, and I end up talking about them within the episode simply because how the algorithm works and how all this whole thing works, which is pretty hilarious, But at the end of the day, there's always a way around it. The reason that, there's a lot of creators out there. There's a lot of creators out there, for example, that are using, they use other platforms, and people are like, oh, why don't you just get off of YouTube and go to XYZ platform and only be on XYZ platform? And the reality is that, these individuals, just like me and a lot of creators that really know what's up, they understand that, it's all about attention. It's all about viewership. It's all about all that stuff. And so if all of a sudden right now I were to get banned from YouTube, okay, sure, I wouldn't be able to reach as many people, but all the people that I've already reached, which like most of you guys that are watching right now, you guys would follow me wherever the fuck I would go. You would find me. I know a lot of you guys would. And so that's the thing, but not everybody. And that's all right. But I think most people, if they enjoy the content enough, they'll go follow wherever, and just watch them on that other platform. It's not really going to matter. That the only reason that they don't is because they're more comfortable watching it on this platform or whatever platform you're watching it on. I know there's a lot of people that watch me on Twitch, on DLive, on Facebook, and that's because that's what's most comfortable to them. And so, but at the end of the day, the king is YouTube, and we can't deny that. But if YouTube keeps shooting itself in the foot, well, they're going to lose all these creators that people like, and they're just going to go to these other platforms. And these other platforms, at the end of the day, one way or the other, sometimes they work out for the better benefit. There's a lot of educational content that is not allowed on YouTube anymore, but now they have like other channels out there. I think they're called like Gaia, and there's another one called Curiosity Stream, and a bunch of others out there. And basically, they're what they have become what the Discovery Channel used to be, what the History Channel used to be, what all these things used to be. You know what I mean? And so, at the end of the day, where there's a will, there's a way, and all this information is out there. And sure, it's you can access it immediately if you pay for it, or you can access it anyway, no matter what. Look, right now, no matter, let's just say that I want to watch a movie. It doesn't matter what movie it is. All I got to do is do a quick little search online, okay? And I get to watch that movie, all right? I want to listen to music. I get to do a little quick search online. I get to listen to whatever song I want for free. All this is for free. I want to watch TV shows for free. I want to watch sports free, okay? So people don't have to subscribe to these things anymore, whether it's the NFL, Major League Baseball, the music companies, buying a whole CD. People don't have to go to the movie theater and spend $60 to watch a shitty movie. They don't even have to fucking pay any kind of money to watch it at home. They can watch it for free if they really want to, and I can go on and on. And so, you remember back then when Napster came out and all this other stuff came out, and the Pandora's box was open. Not only was the internet open, but the ability to get anything at any time was also open. And they tried to censor it. They shut Napster down. They shut all this stuff down. But again, I ask you in the audience, is it hard for you to get any movie you want, watch any show that you want, watch any program you want, listen to anything that you want, audio books, whatever? No, it's not. You can get it. It's out there, and it's all free. Whether it's published on things like YouTube or other platforms like that, or you gotta go do a little extra searching out there, you know what I mean, to get the live stream of whatever game or whatever pay-per-view or whatever you want, and you get to watch it. And none of these entities can control it. They can try to shut it down and control it, but they can't. Even things like pay-per-views, again, in order for someone to really pay for a pay-per-view, that thing, it has to be worth it. Okay, it's not like where it was there before, where everything was a pay-per-view, everything was expensive, everything whatever. So it's just so many things like that. Now it's like a lot of these, people can get money for creating content in a world where everything is free, but it has to be of value. And now all of these entities that are not, or all of these, whatever, whether it's a music industry, a whole CD of crap with one good song, whether it's cable TV, cable news with a bunch of crap, whatever it is. If all they're giving is crap, then no one's going to watch it because there's just an abundance of everything out there. It's an abundance of great content, an abundance of real news, an abundance of opinions, an abundance of everything. I mean, look at that. Look at what happened. You know, when that Sanjay Gupta guy, you know, went to the Joe Rogan show, and all of a sudden, it's like you got to see how these people are not. They're not able to, you know, again, the people from mainstream media and, you know, the people like on the CNNs of the world or whatever, how they're not able to have an actual conversation. You know, to him, it was like, you know, when they were talking to the Sanjay Gupta guy, he was like, wow, I've never had a 3-hour conversation with anybody before. I'm like, bro, you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right now? You know what I mean? Like, look at me now. I don't shut up. I'm literally talking to myself, for crying out loud. Anyways, for hours on end. Anyways, that's a different story though, right?
Bruh.
But anyways, I digress. I should put that on a shirt, right? I gotta put that. I digress, right? I'm gonna make a shirt that says I digress. But anyways, the point I'm making is that at the end of the day, guys, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we're seeing that. I don't know who it was, or they were, as they were talking about or commenting on the whole idea of, you know, the whole thing that was happening with Joe Rogan and the CNN Sanjay Gupta guy. Somebody brought it up. I don't know if it was them or somebody else. I think it was somebody else. They basically brought up the fact that we keep calling things like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, whatever, PBS. We call this stuff mainstream media. But the reality is that mainstream media these days is actually shit like this that you're watching right now. You know what I mean? Like this guy going into fucking hyperspace or whatever he's doing. Anyways, you know, this is actually more mainstream media than anything else. All right. And again, not this channel, obviously. I'm, you know, only got a few people watching and stuff. But let's say like someone like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, okay? And who cares what you think of him, okay? Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, someone on the left, whatever. People on the left, you know, anyone left, right, up, down, whatever. These people, for the most part, have a bigger audience. Okay, again, let me repeat this. This is not that hard. All the metrics are there. Remember, we're living in the world of data. All right, it's all there. Anyways, all of these people, all right, individually, all right, have more viewers, okay, than CNN. Bro, let me how about a shitty TikToker, okay? A TikToker doing the dumbest shit ever, okay, gets millions of fucking views. Okay, millions more, okay, dare I say, than things like CNN, NBC, CBS, whatever. And so who the fuck is still watching that shit? Well, you know who is watching those things, okay? But the reality is that as time goes on, as everything is, you know, again, like how we were talking in other previous live streams, as we were talking about the Great Awakening. The Great Reset is really more like the Great Awakening. You know, we're really seeing that right now. You know what I mean? You're literally seeing that where people are not watching this stuff anymore and they're going down the rabbit hole and they're searching and they're looking. And then the thing is, it's like, you know, right now they're taking, okay, so back in the day when a lot of us started figuring out what the fuck was going on, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years ago or longer, a lot of this stuff, you know, you can find it on YouTube. You know, you can literally find this stuff on, you know, YouTube. You know what I mean? You could just go to YouTube and find things about the Rothschilds, find the real documentaries about the, you know, what happened during the Federal Reserve, and, you know, the real documentary on, you know, yada, 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 and the fact that, you know, everybody has, okay, whatever, all these conspiracy theories, okay, whatever the fuck, you know, everything was out there. But as time went on, you know, and YouTube became more corporate and became, you know, what it is today, all that stuff started taking off, started censored, you know, whatever, disappeared. But the reality is that it's not disappeared. It's out there. It's still out there. If you go on the internet and you do a search, you can find it. You can find anything. Anything. Let me repeat. Anything. Okay? I don't want to repeat what you can find out there, but it can be found. And a lot of times it's not that hard, okay? It really isn't. It really isn't. Okay, when people talk about the dark web, basically what the dark web is any website that is not CNN.com, YouTube.com, Facebook.com, you know what I mean? Like whatever, any other website, you know, for the most part, just websites, you know, just like kind of non-mainstream websites. That is the dark web. So it's out there. It's not like it's hard. Trust me, you can find it. You know, whether you're looking for 2 girls, 1 cup, or you're looking for, you know, some, you know, whatever the fuck you're looking for, you know? Like, I don't want to say certain things, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, because I know how this whole thing works out. You know what? At this point, who cares? But, you know, certain videos on the Clintons, certain videos on the Epsteins, you know, certain videos on whatever fuck, it's out there. And then some. In fact, why is Julian Assange, WikiLeaks, and all of that, why are they public enemy number 1? Why? Well, very simply because they were able to get all of the information. Again, let me repeat this. All of the information from the government secrets, every government secret, and put it on the internet. And they can't take it off the internet. So if they can't even take all of the government secrets off the internet, how the fuck are they going to censor anyone out there or censor anything? Yeah, they can try, you know what I mean? Just like they can, you know, make drugs illegal, make prostitution illegal, make whatever, you know, illegal. It's not, it's just underground in the black market. It's still there. It can still get got. You can still find it. You can still, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing. We're living in a world right now. So, you know, again, let me bring a more context to that, because up until the internet, and I'm talking about not even the internet, because even when the internet was around, it was still so early that people didn't even know how to really use it. But I want to say up until about 15 years ago, give or take, 20 years ago, but let's just 15, all right? And still, you know what I mean? It's actually less than that. But let's just say around 15, 20 years ago, maybe longer, who cares? Anyways, like around 20 years ago, basically everything was censored. Everything. Everybody was censored. If all of a sudden you were a scientist and you discovered something, and the people in the power did not want you to tell people about that, trust me, nobody found out. You know, you discovered free energy, you're gone. You discovered, you know, like the truth about Atlantis, or the truth about, you know, our past, you're gone. Or you're a crazy kook. You know, the truth about your health, you're gone. You know, whatever the fuck it was. Either you were gone, you know, they disappeared you, okay? Or you were just crazy. This guy's just nuts. This guy's insane. Who the fuck is that guy? And I can go on and on. All right? And that's basically what they would do. You know what I mean? What they ended up doing. You know, what they always did. You know what I mean? They censored the F out of everything and everyone. All right? And that's just the reality. Man, this is going so fast. Hold on a second. Let's put that. Okay. They would just censor everything and everybody. But ever since we have the internet, okay? Ever since we've had the internet, all of a sudden, people have been able to publish this on this stuff called the internet, and that's it. You already know. Once it's on the internet, it's there forever. You hear it all the time. Whether it's a nude picture of your dumbass self that took it, whatever the fuck you do and post, it's there forever. And that goes for everyone and everything. Okay? Let's not forget that. All right? And so all of a sudden now, you see tons of people today, if you search free energy, you know, what is free energy? You know, the ability to create energy out of nothing. Okay? Like in the super crazy sci-fi movies. Yeah. Well, anyways, you do a search on that now, and trust me, you're going to find out tons of people that are, because again, they can't censor everybody, and everybody out there is already like, again, oh, they killed that guy, well, I'm going to use his information to do this. Oh, they kill me, well, they're going to, and then it just keeps multiplying, and that's it. They can't kill everybody. They can't destroy it all. They can't take it off the internet. And I can go on and look at the 3D revolution, the 3D printer revolution, the 3D gun revolution, and I can go on and on. They cannot stop any of this. So like I said, the Great Reset, they can suck up, because get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're trying their very best to keep everything in order. They're trying everything to, you know what I mean, so they can remain in order once this whole thing switches over. But they can't, and they won't. It's impossible. You know, the Pandora's box is open, and we have so many, you know, tools and so much available that it's done. And again, all this censorship that they're trying to do, the more they censor something, especially nowadays, the more people want to find out. The more people want to know why. The more people are looking into it. The more people are. And like I said, it's all out there. It's all out there. But anyways, but yeah, man. I mean, I am fucking nuts. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. You know, I am pretty insane. But the reality is that, like I said, you know what I mean? Now, whatever you search for, let's say you search, you know, hey, free energy, create free energy use, whatever. You're gonna find tons of shit on that. 3D printed gun stuff. Tons of free information on that. Whatever it is, you know, the Hillary Clinton, blah, blah, blah. All tons of information. WikiLeaks, tons of information. Government secrets, even more information. Whatever. Nothing is sacred anymore. Nothing is. So the censorship goes both ways, meaning that the government and all these entities, all these elites, all these people in power, well, they cannot hide their stuff anymore. It's all out in the open, and we're seeing it. And so now, back in the day when there were people that talked about this stuff or wrote books on this stuff or anything, they were the crazy people because there was no way in which they can prove it. But now, man, not only can we prove it, we got all the receipts, we got all the paperwork, we got everything. It's all out there. And so it's very, and on top of that, someone can, like me, I can do a live stream, okay, for 4 hours, and we can like literally read all over the disposition or the XYZ papers or the Panama papers or the Pandora papers or the fucking WikiLeaks or the whatever, you know what I mean? And just like go over it and talk about it and this and that. And people do that all the time. And I can go on and on and on. And so there is censorship happening, but that's not, again, like for example, they'll shut off, like I'm going to use an example here, like Alex Jones. They'll shut him up. They'll, get rid of Alex Jones. He was, in fact, I think he was the first real victim of this whole censorship thing, right? Basically, the running joke now, okay, is Alex Jones was right. And it doesn't matter who the fuck is out there talking about this. I love podcasts, I love comedy, I'm a big comedy fan, and I listen to all kinds of people. And you're listening to Joe Rogan, okay, talking about secrets and all this crazy shit. You're looking at people like Andrew Schultz, okay, this guy's a sports guy talking about hip hop, talking about comedy, and he's talking about the Epsteins, and he's talking about the conspiracies, and he has Alex Jones on the show, and he's this and that, and basically it's now mainstream, meaning that even the average regular dude that will never in a million years even talk about this or care about this cares about this, okay? Because it's being talked about on every medium, in every show, and whatever. Again, the only ones you're not going to hear about this stuff on The View, but you're going to listen to it on certain shows that most people listen to. Again, we got to remember who listens to what, and basically anyone 40 and under is not listening to mainstream media, whatever, the whole mainstream media thing. It's just, they're just not. And so and remember, most of them, some of them are in their echo chambers, but when you're listening to, like I said, a podcast that talks about, sports, talks about hip hop, talks about comedy, talks about whatever, and it's very geared towards that, and all of a sudden they're talking about, conspiracy, and all of a sudden they got Alex Jones on the show, and you're like, what? Why aren't you talking about the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys? Why aren't you talking about, Kanye West, splitting up with Kim Kardashian? Why are you not talking about, why are you with Alex Jones? And people listen, and people are interested, and people are curious, and I can go on and on and on. You know what I mean? So, like I said, right now we are definitely living in a time of enlightenment, in a moment of enlightenment. Even though there's censorship, there was way more censorship before the internet was created. Remember, the internet has only really become what it's become very recently, okay? Let's just say the last 15 years. But basically up before that, there was censorship of everything. And so, for example, like there's people out there like Graham Hancock, all right? And this guy talks about, the discovery of Atlantis, the discovery that, we are actually, the human race has been here for longer than anyone has ever anticipated, anyone ever even thought of. There's just all this history that no one has ever talked about. And it's all out there, and it's proven, okay? This is an archaeologist, okay? That he's not going to be writing a book about this stuff unless he has hard evidence that he fucking uncovered. But 15 years ago, all this stuff, bro, this guy's crazy. And nobody could check it, because the only way that you could check it is that you had to book a flight, get to Egypt, go to the fucking thing, and then when you still get there, they wouldn't allow you in, and they wouldn't even let you look at the stuff, okay? But at the end of the day, because of the internet, because of this guy being on Joe Rogan, being on, so many, other programs, being on the internet, writing books, all of a sudden getting all this attention, well, guess what? Not only has he been proven right and all that good stuff, but so many other people, especially younger archaeologists and younger scientists, they're like, oh, well, fuck it. Let's go check that out. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, look at that. Wow. And all of a sudden going against the 99.9% of all the other archaeologists that are trying to keep this secret. You know what I mean? Just like global warming, just like everything else, you know what I mean? And all this other shit, you know what I mean? And so that's the thing. You know what I mean? Now it's like, it's impossible to censor, you know what I mean? It really is. I mean, they're trying very hard, but now more than ever, man, censorship is not what it used to be. They used to be able to censor everything, okay? They controlled everything. There was only a few channels. There was only a few places that you can get a talking point. You can never have a conversation that lasted hours. You can never have real discussions. You can never do anything like that, okay? And any kind of real information would be in the library under like science fiction or whatever, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? So, and I could go on, and so damn, man, we're living in a great moment in time in which, this whole censorship thing, people got to get over that. People got to realize that we're not being censored, and that it's the complete opposite. In fact, we're living in a time of too much information. So much information that it can be confusing. It can be misleading. It can be, you get what I'm saying? Like, it can lead people in the wrong direction, in the wrong way. And so that's the thing. And so that's right now why most people got to go out there and they got to like immerse themselves in this stuff, and they have to make their own minds up. They got to figure it out on their own. They got to think. And so that's why a lot of people, this is scary for them, because they have been taught, okay? They have been put in a society in which they're not taught how to think. They're taught on what to do. You know what I mean? You go to school and you might as well be going to prison. They're just teaching you how to be a cog in the machine. They tell you be yourself until you are yourself, and then you're like, and then they go, hey, what are you doing? Why are you not like everybody else? Why are you going outside of the box here? What are you doing? So yeah, man, it's a lot of it's a lot of brainwashing, a lot of indoctrination, a lot of misleading to a lot of people, but a lot of people are already getting over it. Most of the young kids, they don't pay attention to school anymore. They get their education from the internet. I remember when I was a kid, I went to a really shitty school doing, and it was really, 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 really shitty, especially in the high school years. I was very smart, very curious, very, all that stuff. And so I was always reading books. I was already on the internet very early on. I was already, searching for, alternatives for the real answer for what's, educating myself in a sense. And, my God, you know what I mean? Like, holy shit, I'm glad that I did, because it's like at the end of the day, like, I know that a lot of, okay, so now moving to today, a lot of kids today, they're getting indoctrinated, but they're smart enough to realize that they're getting indoctrinated. So they are just, they go to school, they do the work, okay, they turn it in, they don't give a fuck, but then their curiosity, their thirst for knowledge is still, very much alive. And so they go home, and then they immerse themselves on the internet, and they learn the truth. Whatever that truth is, okay? There's a lot of truth out there, and they learn and they learn and they learn, And so, we're living in a very crazy, intense time. Again, a lot of kids these days, they see that their parents are like ultra left, very woke individuals going crazy, and the kids see this and they're like, damn, I don't want to be that. I don't want to this, that. So they go the opposite direction. You feel me? And they are. And this is the same as it ever was. And so, yeah, man, this is a very interesting time. And it's, like I said, the whole censorship thing, if anyone gets censored, that's actually a good thing. And a lot of times, the censorship that's actually going on is like, something like your mom could get censored because of a cat photo that she posted on Facebook. Even the algorithms don't even know what the hell's going on. So, but anyways, let's look at the chat real quick. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to R-Rated R. Whoa, what's up? Long time no see. Shout out to Regular Joe Travels, Amputee, Pearl. Who else is out there? Blueberry, Cody, Anthony. Everybody. Shout out to all of you guys. So yeah, guys, like I said, this whole censorship thing is nowhere near as bad as what people think. In fact, we're already getting to that point where people are actually going against the censorship, meaning like if something gets censored, people want to know why, and then they look at it even more. In fact, you're seeing things like CNN, ABC, Wall Street, what is it, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, whatever. All of these things are posting all kinds of articles on don't go outside the narrative. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't go on the internet looking for information. Don't read a book. Don't whatever. Only listen to us. And it's like, bro, this cannot be any more obvious, as to how ridiculous this whole thing is. And yeah, to me, it's a beautiful time to be alive. That is for sure. So, yeah, man. Anyways, man, so this episode got really censored. I usually get a lot of people in the chat. I usually get a lot of people, a lot of viewers. So anyways, it is what it is, no doubt. But anyways, regardless, I'm glad you guys are here. We're chatting. I know a lot of people are going to be watching this later. As a reminder, I'm going to be doing a live stream on Friday on the travel channel, on the Mexico travel channel. So I know anyone out there, if you're interested, you can check that out. I know more people are interested in there. Got a lot to talk about there. A lot of information we got to talk about, and it's going to be interesting. All right, so let's look at some prices. So again, let's look at some tokens. Let's look at not tokens, but like cryptocurrency and all this shit. Look, man, at the end of the day, this is the same thing. This is the reason that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all this other stuff is so important is because it's uncensorable money. They can censor you, okay? They can take away your money. They can take away your ability to transact. They can take your ability away from being on the grid, the social credit score. I mean, have you seen what they're trying to pass in the U.S. right now? That they want to pass a new some sort of new law, legislation, whatever, in which they want to get rid of the banks. They want to get rid of Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, whatever. I mean, not get rid of them. But in a sense, it's like when they want to get rid of your personal bank account with them. They want you to have whatever bank account you have has to be with the federal government. So the federal government wants to instill the system in which you have a federal bank account with them, and these banks will still exist, but for other purposes. You know what I mean? And so having all that in the system, and basically, as they were saying, is that they want you to not just have this bank account with the federal government, but like, for example, like they were saying is like, if we print a lot of money and we do like a 2 trillion stimulus bill, you don't have to worry about getting any kind of money because it'll be automatic. We're just gonna, put money into your account. If we print a lot of money, the more money there's in circulation, we're just gonna put some into your account to help you. But with the same token, if we're going through some rough times and we are, having some pullbacks or some whatever, what is it? We got to tighten up, expenditures. Then we'll just take some money out of your account. We don't have to worry about taxes. We'll just take them out of your account. By the way, you're still gonna get taxed, but again, in case we need money, we can just take it out of your account. Oh, and by the way, you can't take it out of your account either. The money is always in your account. There's not going to be any paper money. It's all going to be just digital. Oh, and by the way, there's a social credit score that's attached to this now. So you better behave and you better shut the fuck up and you better do as you're told, or you're not going to be able to function anymore. Yeah, by the way, this has all been said very recently by, in fact, let me see if I can find it. Okay, I should find it before just talking further on it. But again, all this is going to do is just make people want to get away from this system as quickly as possible. All right, so Yeah, I gotta look for it. It's I should have had the thing ready. But yeah, man, it's definitely very interesting. Let me see. I gotta find it. Let me put a little music in the background while. Oh, there we go. Okay, found it. Okay, here we go. All right, look at this. So yeah, look, this is not. I'm not talking shit here. Okay, this is for reals. All right. In fact, let me see. We got more. Hold on a second. Let me put a little music on. We're getting to it in a second. No, that's not it. All right, so let's just read this together real quick. All right, we got a few articles here. Okay, so look at this, the People's Ledger. So like I said, guys, you know, they're getting ready, man. So like the whole thing with Bitcoin and all this other shit is just to prime everybody, to get everybody ready to start getting used to this idea of what a blockchain is and Bitcoin and what crypto is and digital money and getting away from paper money and shit like that. But again, you got to be ahead of the game. You know, Bitcoin's great and wonderful, but you already know it's not private, and they can shut you down on Bitcoin as well. You know, again, you want more information on that, look at my Bitcoin videos on that. But again, Bitcoin's great, crypto's great, I'm all about it. I'm all about the fact that this is, again, open source technology, and you can just create your own. And there's a lot of people that have created their own digital money that is private and off the grid. But at the end of the day, you know, again, you also got to have things like silver and anyways. I digress. We've talked about that to death on this channel. Okay, let's get into this. All right, this is, I'm sure a lot of you guys would like to know more on. So, the People's Ledger. How to democratize money and finance the economy. Oh, great. Bruh. All right, so let's read this together. The COVID-19, I have not read this, right? The COVID-19 crisis underscored the urgency of digitizing sovereign money and ensuring universal access to banking services. It pushed two related ideas: the issuance of central bank digital currency and the provision of retail deposit accounts by central banks to the forefront of the public policy debate. To date, however, the debate has not produced a coherent vision of how democratizing access to central bank money would and should transform and democratize the entire financial system. This lack of a systemic perspective obscures the enormity of the challenge and dilutes the ability to tackle it. Yeah, so basically, again, they're just basically saying, hey, we want to make this easier for us to track you. So instead of having these banks, you know, be the intermediaries, you know, where we got to get the information from them and we got to this and we got to that, you know what? You got to get the money and you got to interact directly with us. And we already got all your information. We already can do anything we want. So we just rather have it that way. You know, the whole COVID-19 crisis, you know what I mean? That just exacerbated the need for something like this. The article takes up the challenge. So is this okay? So this is this is not like the whole article. God damn it. Maybe this is. Oh, there we go. So this is the whole fucking thing right here. Okay. Look at this. Many pages. Hold on. How many pages? Many pages. Look at that. 1,300 pages, all right? I'm not going to read all that. But anyway, so this person right here, Omarova, Saul T. Omarova, that is someone that Biden just appointed as like the head of like currency or some shit like that. All right, maybe this article is like whatever. All right. On the liability side of the ledger, the article envisions. All right, hold on. Wait, because I don't know where the thing was that I read earlier. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I think, yeah. I gotta find it. It's somewhere. I don't know where the hell I found. I read it earlier. It was a couple days ago. But yeah, man. Look. Long story short, it's all here. In fact, I'll put this into the chat in case anybody wants to look for it read it themselves. Okay. All right. There you go. Enjoy. But yeah, basically, long story short, what they were trying to do is exactly that. You know what I mean? They want to, be able to just, again, not only attach a social credit score to you, but then again, this is the reason as to why they're doing it. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, look, hey, we need to make a better system. We need to make a better, system for you guys. It's not for us, it's for you, and yada, yada, yada. So, but yeah, this is the beginning of all that, the stuff that I was talking about for the longest time. I'm sure you can find other YouTubers that are super conspiracy and super deep dive that are talking about this. Remember, like we said earlier, there's other YouTubers that'll spend 3 hours, 4 hours just reading this whole thing, talking about this whole thing, and dissecting this whole thing, and really telling you what it's really all about. Okay, so don't even take my word for it. Just know that it's out there and it's there. All right. Look, it's right here. Look. Okay, so Americans are demanding a greater say in the distribution and use of financial resources. The Reddit-fueled GameStop rally, the dramatic rise of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, the universal basic income, and public banking movements. Remember, they don't want that, these are all discrete manifestations of the broader quest for more equitable and inclusive modes of finance. Ultimately, however, it takes a system to beat a system. The articles take up the challenge of beating the currently dysfunctional U.S. financial system by reimagining the fundamental structure and redesigning its operations. It offers both a conceptual framework for analyzing the core structural dynamics of today's finance and a blueprint for reform that would radically democratize access to money and control over financial flows in the nation's economy. Again, a group of people is going to determine your money. How much money you got in your bank, if you're making too much money, if you're making too little money, if you're working too hard, you got to take some away from you and all that shit. I mean, that's what all this is. So, yeah, man, this is pretty insane. So, yeah, Fed accounts idea represents an explicitly political and conscientiously progressive. Oh, great. That's a progressive word there. Yeah, progressive and banking. That's what you want, right? You want progressive banking. Anyways, let me see. It take on the traditionally technocratic proposals to issue central bank digital currency. See? Generally, so yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna go through this whole fucking thing, man. I mean, yeah. So see, look, the Fed's entire balance sheet should be redesigned to operate as what it calls the people's ledger, the ultimate public platform for both modulating and allocating the flow of sovereign credit and money into the nation's economy, into the national economy. Wow, this is Nah. So all right, yeah. Sorry, because I read faster in my brain than I do aloud. Anyways, but yeah, you guys should check this out, and perhaps even check other people out that are willing to read the whole thing and talk about this whole thing and discuss this whole thing. So yeah, this is pretty crazy though. I'm trying to see if I can find that part. But anyways. But yeah, guys, again, like I was telling you guys a while ago, you know what I mean? Like the whole, like my theory on the creation of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and what all that really was. Again, it was a way in which they could start educating people or getting people to start buying into this shit, and then at the same time scare them away from it and say, hey, don't use this crazy volatile Bitcoin stuff. Use the Fed coin. Use our government approved coin that is not going to inflate. Because remember, the currency right now, the US dollar and prices and everything is inflating. Everything is getting crazy expensive. Everything is getting, really, it's going to get worse, okay? And we're going to have a currency crisis, and we're going to have a inflation crisis and all this other shit. So this is the way in which they can kind of like say, hey, don't worry about that. We're never going to have that ever again, because in case, prices get, to a certain level, we can just print into oblivion and then burn the coins, burn the tokens. And one day you'll have $100 million in tokens in your account, and then the next day it'll be $1,000. But don't worry. Your value is still going to be saved. We got you. We're the government. We love you. Don't worry about it. So yeah, man, this is so this is coming for America. Now, again, these are the things that they're trying to implement. This is part of the Great Reset. Again, whether or not they're going to be able to succeed is up to you. It's up to the people. It's up to many things. But the thing is that this is not something that's going to be taking over the world. It's just not. And I'm telling you, they're really trying to push this. They're really trying to make a smooth transition. But that's never happened before, ever. Okay? And they're trying very hard. And right now, remember, the U.S., the only way that they could really have a smooth transition is if they had a military that was doing its job and not overextended like the way it is right now. And remember, the military right now is getting decimated because the whole vaccine situation. It's already come out of like over 20-year war, and I can go on and on. So our military is fucked. And right now, we're never going to be able to implement something like this on a worldwide basis if we don't have a military to implement it. And especially now in a time where most countries are actually telling the U.S. fuck you, because they know that the U.S. is at a weak point and they can't really do anything about it. All right? So, and by the way, China is not going to take over. China is not going to be the next superpower. China is not going to be anything like that. In fact, the more we see everything kind of falling apart, we're already seeing the writing on the wall. The USA wants to, create their own, a brand new dollar. Again, they're replacing the dollar with a new dollar, and this is the system. What I'm showing you here, it's the beginning. It's a blueprint. It's a white paper for that. Okay, that is the business side of it. Okay, the business proposal. Okay, this is what they're kind of. But again, none of this is new. It's new now, new to most of you guys, most of us, but this is old. This has been around for a long time. They have actually been, talking about this for a while. So it's actually 70 pages. It says 70 pages here. So it's actually shouldn't be that deep of a, read, I guess, for certain people. Too much for me to get into now, that's for sure. But anyways, yeah, man, we're living through some crazy times right now. And, the whole censorship thing, it's not what it seems. It's not what it is. And in fact, we're living through some beautiful, amazing, awesome times. I mean, look at this. Before, in the past, we would not have so much access to this kind of paperwork, to this kind of legislation. We wouldn't be able to access this, you know what I mean? Like this willy-nilly. But today, in today's world, okay, look at this. I'm able to not just look it up online, but share it with all of you guys and talk about it and dissect it and really see what the fuck is going on and what they're trying to do for anyone that's willing to go and take a deep dive. You feel me? So, yeah, I mean, look, yeah, straight. What is it? Strat Cat says it feels like a replay of 1920, 1930. Yeah, I've said it many times. The roaring 2020s. We're in the middle of the roaring 2020s. So yeah, it's we're definitely heading in that direction, 100%. And yeah. I think it's. I think we're going through some awesome, amazing times, and the fact that we have all this. So look, the thing is, it's like there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to read this, they're not going to believe this, they're not going to care. They're not going. There's a lot of people that are going to trust the government and be totally fine with all this, and those are the people that are going to end up suffering at the end. But because of all the tools that we have today, all the open source of everything, the ability that the internet provides us, that it's an open Pandora's box, and once it's on the internet, it's never gone. And I could go on and on. Anyone that's willing to educate themselves and really know what's going on, or at least kind of just look at it, get a little overview, and have an idea as what could really be going on, you guys are going to be fine. You guys are prepared. You guys are going to be surviving this whole mess. In fact, you might be thriving, as this whole mess continues, whether we're going into World War III or whether we're going into Civil War or whatever the fuck is going to happen. Whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen. And at least you're going to be prepared and you're not going to be caught with your pants down or off guard. At least at the very, 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 very least, you'll know that somebody had already told you and you can't complain. And basically, like it's like, well, fuck, at least, someone told me what's going to happen. And, at least I know what's going to happen, whether I did something about it or not. And that's it. So I think that's it, man. So, honestly, I think this is some of the best of times. Depending on your situation, depending on whether you want to educate yourself or not, whether you want to set yourself up or not, this could be a living nightmare, you're going to be living through hell the next several decades, the next several years, the next decade, or you're going to be very fine, very good, doing all right at the end of it. So it's all up to you guys. It's really basically, like I say over and over again, why I do all the videos that I do and talk about all the things that I do. But anyways, all right, guys. I think that I'm going to just kind of bring this episode to an end. Not only was this episode extremely censored and all that stuff, but let me see. But yeah, I think we've beat this story. We've beat this topic to death like a dead horse. Yeah, sorry, Lambo. But anyways, and so I think that's kind of like where we're at now, So next week, you already know, we're going to come guns a-blazing like we do every Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have more action next Wednesday like we do usually every Wednesday. But like I said, this topic today, not for everybody, for those out there that are willing to educate themselves, willing to go outside the bubble a little bit, willing to really see the bigger picture, to put, again, step outside the bubble and see out from outside. Look at it from an outside perspective. Look at it from far away. You guys are going to be totally fine, man. And like I said, we're living in a time of enlightenment. This great reset is more like a great awakening, and it's only the beginning. And yeah, we're going to see a lot of casualties. Yes, we're going to see a lot of people suffer and a lot of people going through hell. But again, it's to no fault of their own in many cases, because in many cases they are the ones that are pushing for a lot of these horrible things that we're talking about here all the time. Whether it's mandates, restrictions, whatever it is. Having taking away their freedoms and giving away comfort, what is it, trading away freedom for comfort and all this other stuff. So that's it. I don't feel sorry for anybody, and I honestly think that it's up to you. It's up to you to figure it out. I live in a country I live in Mexico right now, and I live in a country out here in which things are very anarchistic. And when you live in a community, in an area, in a situation that's very anarchistic, you really get to realize and you really get to see, how it really is to live in an anarchistic type society. And it's not easy either, but you know what? It is a million times easier to live in a place in which you are responsible for yourself and you have more responsibility for your fellow man on an everyday basis than in a world like in the US and Canada and all this other shit, where you're basically just virtual signaling all day, every day, and you're not really doing anything for your fellow man, and you're not even doing anything good for you. You're basically just living in a world of trying to impress others and trying to just keep up with the Joneses and all this other stuff, and all that at the end of the day, it doesn't end well. We've seen it in history a million times over. This is why we got to study history. For anyone out there to think that what is happening right now in the US or happening in the world right now is unique and hasn't happened before is fucking kidding themselves. This has happened before many times. Again, the only difference between us and the Romans is the fact that we got computers, we got the internet, and we got electricity. That's it. They had running water. They had basically everything else. Okay? And I can go on and on. There's many societies, Again, if you listen to people like Graham Hancock, you quickly realize that we probably have already in human society on this earth have already had more technology and have reached, greater heights than where we are now. And we are here kidding ourselves, thinking that we are the epitome, the top, the best of the human race, and nobody or no other part, no other, faction of humanity has ever gotten this far. And we're probably still, Stone Age in comparison to what other humans have done on this earth already. But again, you're never going to find that out listening to CNN or the History Channel or anything like that. In fact, the History Channel is only going to tell you about, stupid ancient aliens bullcrap or Pawn Stars or whatever bullshit, you know what I mean? And they're not, really diving deep into these things. So, I mean, just to give you on the Smithsonian right now, I mean, back in the day, anytime that they discovered anything insane like this, the Smithsonian would walk in and they would just say like, "Oh, awesome, you discovered Atlantis. Oh, hey, you discovered giants. Oh, you discovered whatever the fuck you discovered." And then they'll take it away, they put it in a box and they put it away and they never show it to anyone ever again. So, yeah. Anyways, all right, guys. Hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful show today. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself hanging out with me today. Hope you guys enjoyed the talk today. I know it might not have been the most popular conversation, but I think, it's something that we need to have and we need to talk about because, a lot of people are so negative and down and pessimistic about the future, but I am not at all. I'm the complete opposite. You know what I mean? I'm so optimistic, and it's things like this that make me so optimistic. It's not going to be easy. We're now coming out of comfortable times, and we're right at the beginning of very difficult times that we haven't seen anything yet. It's going to get even more and more difficult. But again, this is not the end of the world. All right, I know for a lot of people it might seem that way, but it's not anywhere close to that. All right, this is the beginning. The real beginnings, all right? We're really going to be seeing some awesome stuff going forward. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are as well. So, with that being said, guys, please check out my website, all right, where you guys can see I drop new videos on my Living in Mexico channel. I got this channel right here. I drop videos on this channel as well. I got my cooking channel, which I haven't done anything in about a year, but hey, a lot of really cool live cooking. I do everything live, right? And we got my podcast. We got the podcast as well. And plus a bunch of other content, a bunch of other stuff that you guys can check out, search, and enjoy. I did a quick update to the website in case anyone's interested, about Mexico stuff, you know what I mean? I'm starting to put some of the videos that I've made, so for example, I got a video on the whole walkthrough on how to find real estate, whether you're renting or buying out here. I put it there so people can have access to it. When I went to visit the dentist, when I went to go visit the eye doctor, and so on and so forth. And then I've made more playlists, okay? For all this other stuff. But anyways, guys, don't forget to tune into the podcast. We got a podcast every Monday and Thursday night, okay? Monday and Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday and Thursday night. You can check us out live on YouTube. All the links are on the website, okay? All the links are here. And in case you missed the live show, you can just do a search and find us on your favorite podcasting app, whether it's Spotify, Apple, iTunes, whatever. Okay, and then this conversation is also gonna be on your favorite podcasting app. Okay, you see right there, that was last live stream is there from last week, and so on and so forth. Okay, and if you want to support the show, you can support the show and all this other good stuff. But again, the real way that you can really support the show is sharing it. Okay, give me those thumbs ups, watching the show and all that good stuff, okay? So, all right, guys, thanks again for watching. I love you. You guys are the best. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'll see you guys next Wednesday here at the same time as always, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you guys on Friday on the other channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the podcast, and Saturday on this channel, and I can go on and on. I'm all over the place. Again, check out the website so you know exactly where I am, and always hit the bell icon on each channel so that you get a notification. You're probably going to get a notification for today's video, but whatever. It is what it is. Love you guys. Salute to you. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your happy hump day Wednesday, and I'll see you guys here next week. As always, see you guys on Wednesday. Bye. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate it.
mama called, seen you on Twitter. Son said shit done changed. Ever since your first song, I bought it all. Ever since the first dip, they said it's Tulip Mania. Now they always say congratulations. Long so hard, avoided liquidation. They ain't ever have the hands or patience. We kept holding, never sold, and look, we made it. Yeah, we made it. They were never there, no, yeah. Now I'm jumping out the Lambo, yeah. And my life moves slow-mo, yeah. When I open Crypto Pro, yeah. I'm a genius with the finance, yeah. And I buy it all on Binance, yeah. Everybody wanna have it, yeah. But they didn't buy it last year, yeah. Everyone wishing that they had bought it. But it's too late now cause they can't afford it. They were too scared just to buy at the bottom. I was on BitMEX 100x long and yeah. You got BTC, then put your pledges to the sky. How can I make sense? I got Satoshis on my mind. Yeah, they called me crazy when I told them they should try. Now my family's in my inbox asking how to buy. My mama called, seen you on Twitter. Son said shit done changed. Ever since your first song, I bought it all. Ever since the first dip, they said it's Tulip Mania. Now they always say congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Always say